is going on, everybody? It is I, the Time Teller, and we have a loaded show. We're going to be talking about a supposed leak. This happens every year, and spoiler alert, it never really comes to fruition. But there's a supposed leak going around on the internet about a new Rolex release that's coming down the line. We're going to take a look at the newest Omega Seamaster World Timer, and I'm going to see if it's a goodbye or if it's a goodbye. And then we're going to go over yet another really high-profile crime that is, again, in the news that somehow pertains to watches, which is really weird. Like, this isn't a true crime channel, but for some reason, there's been a few goings on that pertain to watches. Now, please, go ahead. I will be reading all the super chats within reason. Don't make me try to say something stupid. And join the channel membership, because when you become a channel member, okay, it's down there. You click the join button. It's $5 a month. You get access to the members only Discord chat, and you get to interact with me and help me, pretty much tell me what to talk about during these daily streams. All right, guys, it is 10:24 a.m. Let's get down to business. So, first order of business, everyone's freaking out about this, okay? This person on the Rolex forum said probably a fake leak. Okay, so there's a few, but everyone wants to talk about this. I think these are very bad renders. We have kind of like that's not even quite Tiffany blue. It's like a powder blue Daytona with gold case. All right. There's another left-hand GMT. Okay. There's these, which we will talk about in a moment. Green dial, Sky Dweller in yellow gold. That's perfectly fine. Then we have this Land Dweller. Now, there's a few things about this that are very, very interesting. And it's, the first thing I notice is the bracelet. Okay, this has a bracelet of an oyster quartz. So it's not quite a Jubilee, and it's not quite an oyster bracelet. Looks to have the same exact case as an oyster quartz. You know what? Let's see if we can find one and talk about it. Oyster quartz. And I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about, if I can find a good image of one. All right, this is perfect. Shout out Worn and Wound coming in clutch here. So you see how it has like this angular case integrated bracelet, and it's not quite a Jubilee, even though there are thinner links in the middle and fatter links on the side. Sharp looking watch. People are always shocked, clutching their pearls to find out that Rolex did in fact make quartz watches, because they did not want to be left out of the quartz crisis hype. It didn't really affect them, though. They were doing fine. And, of course, they've thrived since then. But here we can see similar bracelet to that oyster quartz. Almost exact case of the oyster quartz. That kind of, I'm going to be honest, ugly honeycomb pattern on the dial, but not as bad as that stupid flip-flop palm frond that we spoke about yesterday. And I'm not quite sure what makes this a Land Dweller. Like, okay, the Sky Dweller, right, has a very interesting complication that is supposedly useful for pilots. And that fluted bezel actually moves and it actuates the complication. Very unique complication. The Yachtmaster, right, has a regatta timer. The Explorer 2s have a GMT. I'm not quite sure what makes this a Land Dweller. Like, it doesn't have the cardinal directions. It doesn't seem to have a complication outside of the date. I think that this is a bad hoax. I personally do not see what makes this a Land Dweller. It doesn't look like a rough and tumble watch, even though it is. Like, it looks like a Datejust, and Datejusts are sports watches, and they are very tough. surprisingly, when you screw a crown into a case, it makes a very solid connection, and they are very durable watches, although people don't treat them like that. But I'm not sure what complication or function or design makes this a land dweller as opposed to a sea dweller or a sky dweller, right? A sea dweller, crazy water resistance rating. Sky dweller, pertinent complication. This just seems like a joke. You're a land dweller. You don't really do anything. Wear this and go to your office for a few hours, then go home. But it looks really, ugly in my opinion, and I don't really see how this is even a thing. And my rant is kind of pointless because I would bet money that this actually is not even ever going to come out. So, but I'm giving you my opinion because everyone blew up my Instagram asking me, "What do you think about the land dweller? What do you think about it?" If they actually release a land dweller that looks like this, I'll be shocked and I will eat my words. But let's move on to a watch that is coming out that is very exciting, and we're going to find out if it's a goodbye or if it's a goodbye. And in the comment section and in the chat, please let me know what you think about this land dweller and what you think they should release. Okay, I know people are upset that the Cellini line is gone because the Cellini line had interesting complications, and their new 190 whatever that essentially took the place of the Cellini line could have some interesting complications. We'll see what they, release on that end. But in the comments, let me know, what do you want to see from Rolex this year, and are you prepared to once again be disappointed? Okay, so we have to talk about this, which is the newest Seamaster Planet Ocean World Timer. Now, Omega has been crushing it with complications. Now, from a what do they offer standpoint, this is better than anything Rolex really has. I'm going to be honest. I don't love everything about this watch, by the way. These Seamasters wear big. I think this is 43 mil. Has a crazy water resistance rating. I believe this has a 600 meter water resistance rating. Excuse me. 45.5. Yeah, 43.5. Okay. With cases measured at 45.5, 17.4 millimeter due to the addition GMT function. Okay. So this is a big honker. And listen, guys, I love big honkers. But these are some big honkers. I'm sick of Tiffany blue. The contrast with this, awesome. So there is a strike against it. It is huge, but I mean, it accommodates that crazy water resistance rating with the complications, and they still need it to be a legible dial, right? For the complications. I love the contrast, but it's ceramic. It's brushed ceramic, which I am not a fan of. I've been very, very, very vocal on this channel, and pretty much whenever anybody talks to me about materials I like and materials I don't like. I think ceramic is good in certain places. For instance, bezel inlays, go ahead. Ceramic, that's cool. But for cases I'm sick of it. And it's not a great material. And you can look at what's been going on with Panerais, and all you need to do is Google Panerai ceramic break, and people have had not just spring bar failures, where like a spring bar fails and your watch falls down. They've had issues where like lugs have just broken off of the ceramic cases, and then the watch falls down. And what happens when ceramic hits the floor or anything hard? It breaks. So very scratch resistant, supposedly, but it breaks very easily. Not a huge fan of ceramic, but a really cool watch. Looks great. This is going to run you about $14,000, guys, I believe. Let me see. Great looking case back. They're coaxial automatics. very tastefully decorated, nothing insane. It's not like longa levels of decoration, but beautiful. We'll go ahead and look at the specs. Yeah, 14,800 if you want it US. 45.5 millimeters by 17.4. And a 52.4 millimeter lug to lug. This is a big honker, guys. Brushed black ceramic, unidirectional rotating bezel, super luminova, of course, ceramic screw and crown. 600 meter water resistance rating, sapphire crystal, we already knew that. Grade 5 titanium dial with world map view. See, use the titanium more. I'm all about titanium, especially with a big honker. Titanium, awesome. Offset the huge size with more titanium. But don't put ceramic everywhere. It's stupid. Caliber 8938, we already knew that. In-house master chronometer. 60-hour power reserve, 38 joule. Magnetic resistant to 15,000 Gauss. That's very impressive. It's non-limited. That's a plus and kind of shocking for Omega. And yeah, euros 16,300, USD 14,800, and if you're purchasing with Swiss francs, 14,100. Now, is this a good buy or a good buy? I honestly think when you look at that price, 14,000, and if you have that money, right, and it's burning a hole in your pocket and you need a sports watch, an impressive sports watch, there's a lot that you can buy for that money, right? But if you're looking at Rolex over this, you're dumb. Yes, the Rolex is going to have better resale value. You're probably not going to be able to find... Like, what are you going to find for 14,800? Well, like, a steel Daytona's MSRP used to be, what? 14.35? Or 13.45? 13,450? Yeah, you can't find that anymore. Even though they bumped up the MSRP a little bit on Daytona. Oh, okay, well, Starbucks, right? I'll just buy Starbucks, right? You're not going to find one, dude. They're bumping up the... It's so stupid. And what are you going to do? Pay the resellers at inflated prices? No. If you have that money burning a hole in your pocket and you're comparing this to Rolex, I think this is a good buy. As in, good. Thumbs up. Good buy. See, my segment, good buy, or goodbye, it's clever, but it might confuse some of you if you're not sure which one I mean. And some people listen to this like it's a podcast, audio only. So I'm going to say thumbs up. I think this is a good buy. However, I think there's an even better one. Like if you have $14,000 to spend, but you want to spend a little more, this is actually the one you should get. Okay. This came out in 2019. Back in 2019, this was a $22,000 watch. This doesn't have the 600 meter water resistance rating or the GMT. This is an Aquaterra. It is the world time. It's the gold white dial with the earth color, natural color inner complication. This is the perfect watch. Okay. It is incredibly functional, threaded crown, 150 meter water resistance rating. You're getting a gorgeous movement. Look at that, dude. Similar specs, honestly, if we're talking about functionality other than GMT, right? You don't need to have that other huge crown here for the helium escape or whatever their, GMT or like, you don't have to have every weird fucking... Oh, I just... Swear jar, guys. Super chat for the swear jar. Super chat for the swear jar. I apologize. I can't be dropping F-bombs on this channel. I thought I was on the other channel for a second. You don't have to have every freaking knob and dial and everything coming off the case. I've worn this one, by the way, and it's also... It wears big. I'm going to be honest. It wears bigger than you'd think. However, super legible. Love that they put the date complication at the 6 o'clock. Gorgeous handset. really nice profile. If I had 22, I'm going to say, if I had $22,000 in 2019, I would absolutely do this. I'd absolutely do this. Gorgeous. Functionality-wise, Omega's new world timer runs a bit like a traditional GMT watch, albeit whose information is simply presented in a different way, rather than a 24-hour hand running around the center dial, as Omega did with its Caliber 8605-powered Aquaterra GMT. They now have a rotating 24-hour disc, which simply reads the local time of each world's primary time zones. So this is a little different than this, I suppose. Is this different at all? What is... How... Wait. Is this even different? No, I was actually totally wrong. This is literally exactly the same. This actually does not have a different display of GMT. So you know what? Scrub everything I said. This is good if you need... Okay, if you're comparing this to a Submariner, or dare I say a GMT Master, this is a good buy. Okay? It's a good purchase. You'll get it cheaper. It looks more interesting, has a much more interesting presentation. It's way more dynamic and detailed. But it has the same exact complication as this, of course. For some reason, I thought that... I must have read something different. I thought that they said that this presented GMT differently. It's literally the same thing. So still, this is the better purchase. So I actually don't know what these go for right now. Let's try to figure this out, because I have a feeling this could have gone down. Let me see if I can find the exact reference number. See, guys, I get things wrong all the time. I don't know what this. By the way, this gold one is 43 mil, so it's a little bit more wearable. Let me see. 7 Rose Gold Edition is okay. Let's see. On the strap, it's 22,700. And on the bracelet, solid gold bracelet, it's 36,200. But let's see what it's going for right now. There's a bunch of fakes. Okay, we're gonna look on 24. Oh, dude, good news! I knew it. You can get it cheaper. So yeah, this is the better buy. Uh-oh. OBS just said that the stream disconnected. Can you guys see me? Okay. Can I get a thumbs up in the chat to make sure you guys can actually see me? OBS just warned me that for some reason the stream disconnected. It's showbiz, people. It's showbiz. So yeah, this is a very cool watch, but still try to get this gold one. All right. Awesome. Thumbs up in the chat. Had a little hitch, but we are good to go. Love you guys. Again, guys, if it's a penny or a pound, super chats really do help me out. This is my business. So I really do appreciate the super chats. Thank you for the thumbs up in the chat, guys. And also, wave to the people in the future. If you're watching this or listening to this as a podcast later on, please join me. I do streams every day, Monday through Friday. However, the only days I will not do a stream is if I do like an edited review. So, okay. Moving on. If you're not directly interested in true crime or the mention of, murder, then maybe dip. Okay? It is what it is. This does have to do with watches, but some people got upset that I was talking about Casey Anthony in my last, the 2 streams ago or whatever. But this is very interesting. Okay, do you guys remember, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This is very strange. I'm going to try to find a picture of her. before I bring anything up. Okay, check this out. Dude, this is insane. I hate how every news organization that you go to tries to get you to subscribe, like, to their stupid... Okay, found a good picture. We got a super chat. Can we get some money signs in the chat? Dean Woods says, hope you are feeling better. Thank you so much. I suppose we can talk about this at the end of the stream. But I do have some updates. Not all positive. Not all what I wanted to hear. But, yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, but thank you so much. I'm feeling good today. And it's kind of a moment-by-moment thing. And even you asking how I'm doing is incredibly nice. So I really do appreciate that. And thank you to my channel members. If you see a green text with a little emoji next to it, they're my channel members, and I really do appreciate them. You guys can ask away whatever you want. I'll try to get to your questions, channel members, and super chats. Okay, do you guys remember this witch? I'm on the Time Teller channel, so I'm not trying to swear. This witch is Lori Vallow, and she was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without parole for conspiring to commit first-degree murder and grand theft by deception in the killings of her 2 children. I'm not going to get into the sticky, icky details, okay? Because it is incredibly sad, incredibly depressing. It doesn't directly have to do with watches, that part of the story. I will give you a brief rundown. This woman and a man she was essentially having an affair with are both psychotic weirdos. They used Mormonism to skew and kind of sully and manipulate and bastardize that religion. I'm not besmirching Mormons, by the way. I have friends that are Mormons, and they're awesome. They used Mormonism as their, as a scapegoat, essentially. Like, oh, I'm doing this because Mormonism told me to. But they're not even fundamentalist Latter-day Saints, which are the ones that still try to do the polygamy and stuff. They're like, they're far. They're off the reservation, baby. Okay, they're not, like, they're wacko. They thought they were gods that could communicate with each other, that they have lived multiple lives in the past and have been married to each other 7 times in the past, and everyone is zombies. And they have light and dark scales, and depending on where you are in that ratio, you need to be weeded out, essentially. And her 2 children were on the wrong side of that ratio, of that calculation. So, apparently her and this other guy, Chad Daybell, killed her 2 children. And, apparently, allegedly, his ex-wife, or wife at the time, he was having an affair, and her husband at the time. So, 2 adults and 2 children died. This is, from what I know, I could be getting it wrong, weird. There's something even stranger about this, okay? Because I know my trolls are going to be like, unsubscribing! You're talking about something that doesn't have to do with watching, blah, blah, blah. It's my show! So yeah, they allegedly, are attached to 4 murders, but here's the weirdest part. Finally, on July 20th, Steve texted Lori. Steve is her actual husband, who died's adult son. If you won't answer those questions, can we please have his watches and other stuff he always talked about and had around? Lori, the alleged murderer, responded within an hour and told Steve she would send some items to his house. That was the last communication he's had with his stepmother. Quote, my dad had a collection of watches, very fancy watches. He wore nice watches for years and years, so I thought she was going to send me some of them, like he asked. Steve says, the package arrived, and inside were 2 cheap Timex watches you'd find at CVS. Anything that was worth money we didn't get. I'm assuming she sold everything else. That is insane, dude. That is insane. Okay, so yes, there's the 4 murders, 2 of which being children. One of the children being severely developmentally delayed, okay? It's disgusting. It's terrible. I hope she rots away and is miserable for the rest of her life. And I hope she lives a very long life so that she can endure this misery and be tormented forever. That's what I hope. But it's just so interesting because the adult son of one of her husband, so from like a prior marriage, I think, when she lied to that adult son about how the father died, it was like, I think she said it was a heart attack at first. He was like, "Oh man, that I'm devastated. Like, this sucks. Can I have more information?" And she ghosted him, right? And then he was like, "Well, like, how did it happen? Like, when did it happen? What happened?" She wouldn't answer. So then, like it was quoted, he said, "Well, if you're not going to answer those questions, can we have some of my dad's belongings? Like, can we have his valuables, please?" And she's like, yeah, I'll send them. She went to some store, bought cheap watches. No offense to Timex. I like Timex watches. They've definitely stepped up. But she wasn't getting the new Timex GMT. She wasn't getting the Expedition North Titanium Auto. I doubt those are the ones that she bought to put in the watch case. She sent him some cheap, probably quartz, dollar store watches. And was like, here. Dude. So weird. But you look at what else this person believed, and it's not surprising. It's like, that's the least of their problems, was that she stole the valuable watches and sent them, dollar store watches. That's the least of their problems. She's a psycho. And again, I hope she rots away. But that's kind of it. Again, I know some people don't like when I go too far off the trail of wristwatches, but that was I was reading about this because I think she just had another hearing or something. Or no, she did an interview, I believe, and she's back in the news. And when I was reading it, I read something about what she did with the watches, and I was like, that's so weird. I'm not going to make an episode about it, but at least I can talk to my viewers on a live stream about it. So that's crazy. Okay, so update on my leg, because Dean Woods with the super chat asked if I'm feeling better. I still need assistance when it comes to my mobility. This isn't a sob story, by the way. It is what it is. It's my life, and I'm learning to deal with it. I'm not going to say I'm good to go, but I'm learning to deal with this new type of life that I'm living. It is constant. Saying discomfort is an understatement, only because nerve pain presents itself very strangely. I've been reading a lot about this, asking every expert that I have access to about this, and they all tell me that it's a long road. And when you're working on like a car and there's those little electrical gremlins, it's like, man, I gotta look at the wiring harness. Oh, it could be anywhere. Okay, I gotta follow the harness all the way down here to this ECU. Oh, this DME unit. Like, oh my god. Well, unfortunately, your nerves are like, the wiring harness and offshoots and tethers of any other electrical system. So now I'm having to meet with more experts to get more scans and to get what I heard are called nerve injections. So they're going to be injecting my nerves and seeing what comes back to life. And it's not that I'm dead or dying. Parts of me are. And the scary thing is that my doctor said that when they do cut me open, if that's the course of action that needs to happen, there's a chance that the pain gets from bad to way worse, to the point where I will, and this is his words, where I will ask him to remove my leg. That is like kind of tongue in cheek. Got to kind of laugh about it. I'm not here saying that I'm going to lose the leg. I'm saying that like that is an incredibly scary prospect. And for someone who, I was ostensibly very active for most of my life. And for someone who really enjoyed doing things, hiking, going on trails, driving my cars, I would, the injury happened when I was on a run. When I got blindsided, I was on a run. So like for someone who was trying to be athletic and healthy, that is a big blow. So just prayers, if that's cool. Am I paraplegic? No. I can stand, and I can walk with assistance. I use a cane. But running and hiking and things like that, is pretty much out of the question, because going up a set of stairs is like a big feat for me. Feat, no pun intended. But prayers, support, and good vibes. I really do appreciate it. I am someone who believes. I am a man of faith. I'm a practicing Jew, but we all pray to the same God. So I believe that prayers do help, and if you keep me in your prayers, I really would appreciate that. It's kind of weird asking for that, but I really would appreciate it. So it's probably one of the most difficult times in my life, but I'm staying. I'm hanging in there, guys. All right. So I absolutely love each and every one of you. I will see you tomorrow for the Friday show. Actually, I might have a review coming out tomorrow, so I might not do a live show. But I will catch you later. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for all the comments and engagement. Thank you for watching this after the fact. But if you want to be here live, show up. It's a whole lot of fun. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller. And always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow in some way. Love you.